Dun, 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 dun. It is Biscuits and Gravy 80s movie edition. This is where we talk movies and other random crap, mostly just random crap. We also love to give away free stuff. And here is our cast of characters today. Since Biscuits is out, unfortunately, we're going to be sending him some comedy, some love, some cheer. We love Chadwick Boseman, but unfortunately he's not with us today. Hopefully we'll get him back as soon as humanly possible. So my guest hosts from all over the country, coming to you from an undisclosed location. We've got Ken Paul to my, I guess, left or right, depending on how you're pointing. He's right there. He's suited up and ready to party. You could tell by he's wearing 13 different polos. And then we've got Matt Troyer, a.k.a. Troy Boy, underneath. I'm going to tell you who I am, and then we'll let our lovely co-hosts introduce who they are. So my name's Anthony Michael Russo from Dallas, Texas. Started an organization called #BeTheChange about 4 years ago, and it's all about taking action in what you believe in. So in this show, even though we're talking about movies, we're going to be giving away $5 Venmos to people who answer movie trivia correctly. So as people are tuning in, you're going to be doing $5 movie trivia as we go, and today is the 80s edition, hence the collar pop. Ken Paul Smitty.
I'm here. Living the collars. I lived it once, sadly. I've already done this collar thing, but I kept them. You know, that's why they go in the closet for 25 years. Hi, everybody. How's everybody?
I love saying you went in the closet for 25 years.
This one's actually legit. Right. This was purchased in 1985. This is a legit 80s polo on the top.
So Ken finally had something come out of the closet. Troyer, what's going on down there, Matt?
Hey, greetings from Portland, Oregon. I work with these knuckleheads on the auto show circuit, and Ken and I do a lot of training for Productions Plus. Great to see everybody. Normally, I just get to talk about beer, but today, because we don't have Chad, I am going to talk about movies and beer, so I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks for having me.
No problem. You guys actually are blessed on this episode. You get to have your own pick of movies. So that's kind of a big deal. Last episode, you got to tell me your one. This episode, you get to name as many movies or top 3 movies, and we get to kibitz and have just a grand old time. And later in the episode, Troyer is going to be giving us the beer of the day. So I'm going to throw up the banner letting you guys know that we like to give away free stuff courtesy of Be The Change. We're doing $5 Venmo surprises for answering movie quote trivia from #BeTheChange. So while we're getting the show started, it's going to be that time. So if you want to answer it correctly, yeah, Kelly's commenting already. My collar pop is a little limp. I would have thought KP would have had more of the ip on this.
Whoa,
one.
that didn't take long.
He must have taken his blue pill. Okay, so with our trivia, the Philly Wilcox is already commenting. Let's see. Sweet. Yep. All right. Phil Wilcox, you might have a guest spot coming up soon. I still think we might need to include Mr. Stenberg. So here's what's happening right now. I keep getting distracted. I'm not going to look at the quotes right now.
Stay focused.
First person to name what movie this is from in the box. First person to name what movie this is from in the box is getting a $5 Venmo. So answer it as quick as you can. I apologize if your computer is slow, but it's just the way it is. So here we go. Number 1, 80s movie quote. First person getting $5. You can be my wingman anytime.
Name the movie.
KP, can you give a good impression on that one?
I'm better on the beach. If you saw me play volleyball, you'd know exactly what movie we're doing.
Yes. That's a good. I like that one. What would be the follow-up line if I said, you can be my wingman anytime?
I don't have the exact quote. I'm going to blow this one. I don't have it.
Troyer.
It was not. I'm going to blow this one, Ken. No, I don't think that was the right quote.
That was in the volleyball scene.
I've done the volleyball game.
Hey, Phil got it. It looks like
Phil already got it. Phil was on the jump of the gun. He was Top Gun. The next line would have been, "No, you could be mine." That was back from Maverick. And again, we're starting it out. I was Iceman to Maverick. Starting it out with the Top Gun quote because that is in tribute to our host Chad, which we hopefully have back. His dog is actually named Maverick, so that's why we're doing that one. So, all right, that is our first one. Philly Wilcox, you are getting our first $5 of the day for answering that correctly. I'm thinking later in the show, I will possibly have, if somebody really wants to play, I might have them actually come on. I will send you the link, and you'll jump on live, and you'll be guessing multiple to win a bigger prize, maybe like $15 or $20. I think that'd be fun.
Woo!
So, first, before we get into our top 3 movies, what have you guys been watching while in quarantine?
Kenny?
I went old school last night. What Did You Do in the War, Daddy? Great comic war film from the late 60s. Carol O'Connor, James Coburn, Dick Shawn. It's a brilliant little irreverent comedy between the American and the Italian forces. It's a great little weirdo movie to watch.
Say the name again.
What Did You Do in the War, Daddy?
I feel like you've said that on a weird date before. I feel like.
Gonna write that down.
Yeah. Troyer, what have you been watching?
You know what? It sort of is an 80s-esque kind of thing. It's The Outsider on HBO. This is Ben Mendelsohn, Jason Bateman, and it's based on a Stephen King book, which I actually happen to have right here because I'm a big Stephen King fan. Speaking of 80s, he had a lot of great hits, both books and movies in the 80s. But yeah, it's a horror procedural, which it doesn't make sense when you hear the pitch, but then it's fantastic when you watch it. So I recommend it.
I've heard the description of the first episode, and I'm interested. So I just need to finish up on my couple series that I've got. I still got to finish up Ozark, even though I'm still a little disconnected on it. And Ray Donovan, I'm like 4 months behind on. It's I think the final season of that I gotta catch back up on that. I actually watched. I said it before on our Power Hour. I watched Stronger. Which I've been meaning to watch for years, and it accidentally popped up, and I was like, oh, Stronger is the one about the Boston City bombing after the race where the guy lost his legs. Phenomenal movie. The little bit of a weak Americanized typical Hollywood ending, but the actual story is great because it is so close to the truth. And there is one line in it that I keep bringing up now. When they thanked him for everything that he did, somebody said, they can't break us, which is kind of perfect and fitting for this time that we are going through as people, as humans, as Americans. They can't break us. So that's what I've been watching. Another one that I think you would really like, Ken, if you haven't seen it, Midnight in Paris. Have you seen that?
I have. Really good. Really good.
Yeah.
Great. Bringing back all the classic characters.
Woody Allen movie. 2011, Owen Wilson. If anybody is a literature fan, old writers of the 20s, 30s, great era of writing. That movie really puts a fun spin on it. So I strongly suggest that one. So, all right. True. Let's see. Let's go ahead and have Ken. Ken, tell us a little bit. You're going to start us out with your top 3 movies. So first,
I will.
I'm going to go ahead and throw up your list and allow you to actually tell us what you think. So how did you come up with these?
Excellent choices, Ken. It makes sense. I'm not surprised.
I believe my movies have been changed, although I could talk to those all.
No, I'm kidding. We figured we'd throw that up because there's, you did talk about something about your daddy earlier. They're saying dirty daddy. So we figured we'd throw up a mock movie. I feel like Pretty in Pink, though, you might have had some enjoyment in.
You know what? That's right in that what life was about on the North Shore of Chicago in the 80s. I almost put a Hughes in there. I almost picked one of those, but couldn't do it.
All right.
You can make an argument for Breakfast Club for sure. That's an
that
80s movie that's
hanging in the top 5.
It still stands up too. You think, it's got to be dated, and you watch it, and we watched it with some kids, and they were like, "Wow, this is a great movie." So you can check out Breakfast Club still.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So, all right, really, Ken, what are your top 3 80s movies?
Tough call because 80s was my jam. So, but I had to break it down based on power, memorable, and quotes. I had to go 1 on the bottom. Number 3, Wall Street. Mm-hmm. Ultimate power story of the 80s. The yellow ties, the high speed of the young guys bantering and chest bumping, and Michael Douglas beginning his grown-up career. He had just left the swarthy young leading man, and he was playing his new power position. And that greed speech, one of the finest single take power plays in all of film. That greed speech in the studio was amazing. Just everything about it was so. It had Daryl Hannah. I mean, that makes an 80s movie right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to put that out there for an iconic middle of the 80s classic power film.
She wasn't a mermaid, so yeah, it's special.
Right? She was in 92 movies in the 80s. I'm pretty
That is literally the first straight comment you have had so far. So that's fantastic. So we
need the bell. We need the bell.
What's your second movie there?
Number 2.
Wait, I got one. Wait,
okay.
Hold on.
Straight comment. Hey,
there it is. Very manly bell. Thank you, Matt. That helps not prove the point. Number 2 on the list is a little bit of a personal favorite because it highlights the city as well. I've got Untouchables as my number 2.
Yep.
Incredible over-the-top piece of mafia and police drama, and in true 80s fashion, many, many scenes almost working like a music video. The soundtrack is up so high. There's all this music montage work, and it's a love story to Chicago. Everything is filmed on location. And if you watch it enough times, which I have hundreds of times, you'll find out there are more continuity problems in that than the next 10 films that came out. So it's fun watching to see whose cigar disappears and who doesn't have a tie on all of a sudden. But young Andy Garcia, Connery at his most powerful, it's an incredible, and Kevin's acting because he cares. When he cares, he's phenomenal. And Untouchables is never tired. Dated, never tired.
Troyer, is it hard for him to talk about a manly, like mobster type movie while he is wearing a yellow and pink polo?
I mean, Ken can do anything, so he could talk about the most manly thing while wearing his mankini, but it doesn't necessarily play, but it works. He can do anything.
Are you wearing a mankini right now? What are you wearing below the shirt there?
It was an 80s day, right? 80s day?
That's fantastic.
Right? I went full 80s. That's what you wanted. We got it.
Oh, seersucker, looking fantastic. All right, what is your number 1 movie, Ken?
Number 1, most rewatched, can't turn it off when it's on. Probably the most socially quoted of me and my friends still to this day. It is Ghostbusters. And I'm talking about the original Ghostbusters, which is one of the most quotable comedies of all time. Everybody in that cast was at their top for improv and knowing how to create a character. And anytime you can get the quote, if somebody asks you if you're a god, you say yes, you have a great movie on your hands. And it never gets old. That film is always hilarious, always.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and throw those up there one more time. These are your picks, not to be confused with your fake picks, which are Pretty in Pink, Purple Rain, and Tootsie. Chad, by the way, did give a shout out to Tootsie, saying it is a great film. Chad also had a great comment regarding your wardrobe. Holy shirts and pants. Holy shirts and pants.
What's the Maltese Falcon comment? What did Phil say about the Maltese Falcon? Oh, that Ken was an extra in that film. Oh, that's interesting.
I didn't know you could be an extra in a pornography.
Oh, that's a different Maltese Falcon.
Oh.
This was the original one with Bogart.
That's a Falcon from Malta. It's a very different film.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't released here.
Something was released, though.
Sardinia,
okay.
Sardinia only.
All right, we are going to, yes, we are going to go ahead and do one more trivia for now. So I'm going to go ahead and bring another one up. Why? Because we like to give away $5 courtesy of Be the Change. So get ready for $5 Venmo surprise. So everybody tuning in, here is what's about to happen. I'm going to give a movie quote. The first person to enter it in the chat box is going to be the winner. I'm going to go with, let's see, it's going to be $5. I'll need your Venmo. Phil Wilcox, I need yours. I am going to go with a movie that none of us put in there, so in our top 3, so it'll be a little bit harder, I believe. Okay, here it is coming on the bottom of the screen, and I'm going to say it. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Who's going to get this one first? And if you guys want, we might bring somebody else on to play in a contest. Phil Wilcox loved the Greenwich Pope of the Pope of Greenwich Village. Got it? Chad Fishburne put Transformers.
Ooh, good guess, Chad. So close.
Yeah, that's a very good guess.
Matt Miller just said duh.
Yep, Matt Miller is confused. Dirty Dancing. Phil, dang it, Phil. We should just Maybe I'll ask a couple more. Phil, right now, Phil, would you be interested in give me my money? Phil got that one. Kelly McComb said it's too easy. So Phil, here's the deal. You have now answered 2 correct. Are you interested in, I will ask other questions and give away more money. Are you interested in coming on live with us and playing a name 3 in a row correct in order to win a full prize? Are you interested? Just put a yes in the comment box below, and we'll bring Phil on later in the show, and I will send you a direct link. Okay? Phil?
What did Miller guess? Dirty Schmanzing? What,
Dirty
is that a
Schmanzing.
typo?
That was another movie that Ken was an extra in, actually.
You got to get your insurance.
Yep. Got to get Jesus. All right.
Troyer. Union Productions, but congratulations.
Yeah. All right, Phil, I will send you a comment while Troyer, you take it away and tell us about your top 3 80s movies, and I'm going to get in contact with Mr. Phil Wilcox.
All right, good luck helping Phil download Chrome, by the way. All right, so 80s. Ken and I were actually alive in the 80s. Many of you watching weren't, but we're going to talk about some of the best movies. Ken said it earlier pre-show. He was like, the 80s has twice as many great movies as any other decade. It's unbelievable. And I'm going to start with one that might surprise you because you're going to think it was the 70s, but it actually came out in 1980. My number three favorite film from the 80s is The Shining. Now, we talked about Stephen King earlier. The Shining is essentially a horror masterpiece, and if we were just doing scary movies, it would be my number 1, but it's got to be up there in my top 3 of 1980s films. Ken, what do you think about The Shining? We can hear you.
It's amazing.
Great.
There's nothing at that time period yet. I mean, if you haven't watched or gotten into a lot of older films, the thing is, your speed, the action was so drawn out. Things didn't happen on top of each other like they do now. Even something like the comedies, the Ghostbusters, you had a ton of character before you'd get a payoff. The Shining had such epic, long moments of nothing that it probably frightened you more than what was coming next. Yeah, you can't believe things not happening are scaring you. Yeah, it's fantastic. Now, so my number 2 movie, and I'm going to steal something from what Anthony did when we did gangster movies earlier. I'm actually going to sneak 2 movies into this, and it'll make sense, I think. 2 movies, and it's sort of in the horror genre. It's more in the action genre, but it is Ridley Scott's Alien, followed up by James Cameron's Aliens, which is arguably the best sequel that has ever been made. So these 2 films, and one of my criteria is they still have to stand up. These 2 films stand up. You watch them now, they're still as terrifying as they were. Alien is a little slower. Aliens is faster, more fast-paced, and the birth, really, of James Cameron and Terminators and all the other great movies in the 80s that he went on to do. But holy cow, these 2 movies, awesome. Ken, you agree? You like them?
Yeah, amazing. They surprised us in a way that hadn't been done, and then there was 15 years of people trying to come up with the next shock. But the 2 shocks they gave us in those films, completely light years ahead.
And just like Godfather, don't bother with Aliens 3 or really anything after that. And my final number 1 movie from the 80s, and I think this one probably fits the more stereotypical true 80s that we're thinking of. He started working with Sybil Shepherd on a TV show called Moonlighting, which you can probably find on YouTube. And it's a fantastic, bantery kind of show. And then he took this little role in a movie that went on to become the best Christmas movie of all time. And yes, it's Bruce Willis opposite Alan Rickman in Die Hard. My number 1 1980s movie. Still stands up. I watch it every year. There it is. The Shining, Alien and Aliens, and Die Hard.
That's a solid list. I think that's fantastic.
Wrong. That was Die Hard. It was hard not to pick when I was going through the list.
Yeah.
Hard not to pick.
And I love that that's a Christmas
movie of all time. What a great accidental Christmas film.
Yeah.
It's Elf and Die Hard. That's it.
Right. Agreed.
Well, and of course the classics. Actually, we will have to have a Christmas episode. We'll save that for when we're still at home. Christmas.
Don't say that.
Too soon? Too soon?
Yes.
Maybe Christmas in July, Tony.
No, there you go. Christmas in July. Phil Wilcox, I'm trying to give you instructions. Let's see. I hope that you figured it out. I'm looking. You've seen it. So that's a start. You're probably putting clothes on right now. So with that said, this question cannot be for Phil Wilcox. Anybody besides Phil Wilcox can answer this one.
Miller's going to get this. Miller was alive in the 80s. Come on, Miller. Matt Miller. He was
Okay.
alive in the 80s. He's got to get this.
Let's see. And then we're going to go to our beer of the day before I give my list.
Come on.
Let's go with, I got a really hard one that I got to save for Phil when he comes on, if he can figure it out. This one's actually difficult as well. Yep, we're going right here.
Oh,
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Oh,
nice. Hey, Anthony.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for someone to type this answer in, I've got a backup. If Phil can't do it, I'll FaceTime him on the phone. So we'll have him on live via this.
We could figure that out too. We can see.
Right.
We'll see if he's got it. All right, first one to put this one. Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? Another top 80s movie. I didn't have it in my list.
It's not Gremlins, Chad. No,
Yes.
it's not Gremlins. Great guess.
Just add water. Nope.
Let's see. We're gonna wait on that one. Let's see.
There it
What's it
is. Melissa got it. Yeah.
There it is. Yep, that's even super specific. I actually would have taken a simpler one of Indiana Jones. So actually, you got the exact movie. So that is correct. Melissa, well played. You are getting $5 from Be the Change. I'm going to go ahead and throw that banner up right. Meow. Thank you. Hashtag Be the Change. Congratulations. Go ahead and shoot me your Venmo. I don't know if you've won yet on any of these contests. So you've got one. So congratulations. You are the winner of that round of trivia. Kelly says that Raiders of the Lost Ark counts as a Christmas movie.
I don't remember that.
I don't know about that. Or Gremlins. Maybe she's talking about Gremlins.
Oh, yeah.
Which does. Gremlins does count.
Yeah, Gremlins counts.
Yep. Also a good sequel. That one's it has to be. Okay. Thank you, Chad. He has all of a sudden been the armchair quarterback just because he can't join us today. He's being very critical. Okay. All right. So we've got 2 winners so far. Phil, we're hopefully going to get him on. I don't see him backstage yet. Let me see if he's actually commented on anything. Nope. He's still confused or putting on pants. Fantastic.
I can FaceTime him.
Let's save him. We'll save him for the end. Hopefully we can get him on here. Either way, he's going to be the competitor to win the big prize. Okay.
All right.
All right. So he's in. Let's see if he can figure it out. He's not backstage yet. So let's see if he can click on it. We'll bring him up in a second. All right.
He got there very fast.
My top movies. What do I got? Okay. So I actually included a John Hughes film. This was a very difficult list. This was even harder than sports movies because sports movies, it's like choosing out of 10 fantastic movies and like trying to find the 5. This one it's like when you go to a bar and you see a bunch of really good looking women. There's not a ton of 10s, but there's a lot of like 8 and 9s. So it's very hard. And I just sounded like I'll probably never get a job again because of the way I said that. But
that was a perfect example of an 80s style dialogue, and I'll save your ass on this one.
Thank you. I was going to do that just in case. Oh my God. You guys are going to really like the name that he put below his tag in. So I do see you. You're backstage right now, Phil. Chill out for me. So Breakfast Club is my number 3. Just because it has to be. I threw a curveball in there for my number 2 because this is one of my favorite movies growing up. And honestly, I think it still stands today. And the new show that is on YouTube, Red, is also amazing. If anybody knows where I'm going with this one, Karate Kid, the original Karate Kid, is my number 2. Johnny, you're a cream puff.
It's another almost. This is nice, though. We all got the same top 10, I bet.
Yeah, somewhere in that grouping, which could change based on the day at any given point. And then my number 1, I actually went back and forth on number 1. It was either going to be 1 or 4 for both of these. I know that sounds weird. I couldn't give it to one of the greatest films of all time. I had to give it to Back to the Future.
There it is. I'm glad that made the list. Nice.
It had to be in there at one point, and it set the stage for that futuristic thing. And I wanted to make sure I could put that in there because I wanted to give a shout out because they predicted one of the worst days of my whole entire life, which I know Ken Paul knows is one of the best days of his life. The Chicago Cubs winning the World Series in, what was that, 2016?
Yeah. Seems like a long time ago already.
Yep. I love that you've got the Burt Reynolds pose going on right now, Ken.
Well, I got to get the pants in the show somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom commented that I could live for Karate Kid, which is incredibly accurate. Chad Fishburne, did Ken borrow his pants from the Caddyshack wardrobe department? That is true. Okay. With all of our top movies said, I'm going to rattle off some honorable mentions. Chad, that's easy. Name the car company and model for the Back to the Future. That's a piece of cake. I think anybody could drop it.
With a fever today.
What's that?
Chad's out with a fever today.
Yeah, that's a fever for more cowbell. Okay, my mom's gagging with the Cubs. Okay, so I'm gonna really quick give out my honorable mentions, and I'll see if you guys agree. We had Ghostbusters in there. Goonies, I actually watched yesterday. Forgot about that. Watched Goonies. The second half of it. Coming to America, Airplane, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Stand By Me, Batman. We left out. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and the one that was gonna be my number one is E.T. It technically is one of the greatest films of all time.
You're right. Can't argue with any of those.
Any that we missed on honorable mentions?
Yeah, and then once we open that door, it'll never close. Trading Places.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Classic. I mean, when you see Dan Aykroyd eating salmon through a gray Santa beard, it will never make you want salmon ever again. Okay.
Troyer, did I miss any?
No, and I'm looking to see, and go ahead and type in what you liked as your favorite movie. If we didn't say it yet, we saw Gremlins on the list. Caddyshack, was that the 80s?
Yeah.
Or was Fletch the 80s too? I mean, Fletch.
Fletch is 80s.
Like, there's just so many darn good movies in the 80s.
All right, so we're not doing the contest with Phil yet. We're going to bring him on just because we're just going to introduce him. We're going to do a live sound check, and we can all say hi. He looks like he's ready. He's been primping his hair. I've been watching him backstage, which is hilarious. We're going to go ahead, and you're going to love his name on the bottom. Phil Wilcox, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
You sound great. You sound perfect. You sound exactly how I expect.
What a gorgeous flower behind you.
Thank you.
That's good. We're going to bring that up real quick. Let's see what that is.
Who painted that?
I did.
Nice.
I would have thought that was Georgia O'Keeffe. It was very vaginal in nature.
There you go. That's what I heard. I didn't even realize that until afterwards. Maybe it was subliminal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's subtle.
All right, so I'm going to pull you back off. Don't go anywhere, Phil. We are going to do one more. You can't play on the next one, but we will have you do 3 in a row and see if you can get all 3 to win our grand prize of $20 or $25. Let's see how I'm feeling, okay?
You like the color coordination I did for you there, Anthony?
That was good. I noticed. I actually saw you get naked while you were changing back there. It was super awkward. Yeah.
Bonus.
All right. I'll see you in a second. All right. Sweet Dick Philly.
There he is.
Fantastic. Okay. All right. You know what time it is, Troyer? It is Beer 30.
Boom.
Beer 30. So it is time to show us what the beer of the day is. Ken, if you're thirsty, you can make your cocktail of the day. But right now, what do we got, Troyer?
Well, you know what? In keeping with the theme of 80s, we wanted to go back when basically America discovered something, and that was sushi and Japanese beer. And so with that in mind, the beer of the day is the classic Sapporo premium beer. There's a reserve as well that's delicious, so I invite you to taste both of them. But if you're in the mood for, we've moved a lot toward IPAs, double IPAs, really heavy beers. This is a lager beer. It's light, it's delicious, and I think you'll enjoy it. Remember Sapporo. And these cans are awesome, right? Anyway, Sapporo, beer of the day.
I like that you always have something phallic as your beer of the day. That's always fantastic. It was the beer handle the other day, and then today it's Sapporo. Sapporo I love. I'm actually a huge sake bomb fan. If I want to party, I go sake bomb. So
nice.
It's either tequila or sake bombs, and that really gets party started. You do the whole table smack, and bam, that drops in the glass, and you're a tourist, and you're paying way too much for what should be inexpensive alcohol. Regardless, it is fantastic. Ken Paul is going to make a drink, or he's gone to the bathroom. Let's get a live feed of Ken Paul right now.
Ken, where are you?
Yep, Ken's doing something. If I just want to hear him flush in the background, that'd be great. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do one more movie quote that does not include Mr. Phil Wilcox. So get ready to win some more money. Let me throw the banner up because this is, again, courtesy of #BeTheChange. You can actually follow us at spelled out #BeTheChange.com. Ken's back with his beverage, which will show what he's got in a second. Let's see. I got rid of Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner. I have already done Top Gun, which gives us, and we've done the snakes. All right, so I've got 3 for Philly, and I've got 1 for this one. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Ken's excited on this one. Put it in the comments. First person to answer this one correctly.
I just
Other than Philly Joe.
Yep.
I just put the clue away.
Did you really? See, I didn't want anybody to be given the answer. Chad is chatty. I feel like let's go. If Anthony was a wrestler, his ring name would be Sakiba.
I like that.
That's actually incorrect. That would be my specialty move.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Melissa is on fire. I feel like we could have done a duel between her and Philly Joe. Maybe we'll bring her on in the next episode.
Nice job, Melissa.
A contest for the big grand prize. Chad always asks that of all of his prey. Now it's just getting creepy. Okay. Whew, sounds awkward. Okay. Let's see. We've talked about the movies that we've watched. We've talked about our top 80s movies. Now it's time to bring on Philly Joe. And Melissa, make sure you go ahead and give me that Venmo. That's fantastic. And I'm going to go ahead and bring Philly Joe back on. What's up?
Hey, guys.
Phil Wilcox, not Philly Joe. My fault. Anyways, goes all over the place. My brain.
I have a lot of monikers.
Yes, you do. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hide that bad boy because we got the correct answer. So here's the deal. We've got Melissa. She's already won 10. Phil, technically you're at 10, but you are going to be going for 20, and this is how it's going to work.
Wow.
That's how it's going to work, Phil. I'm going to give you 3 quotes. You have to answer all 3 correctly. Chat box, people can actually help out, but you are going to need 30 seconds. So 30 seconds before they actually probably have a chance to answer it. So they're going to be a hair behind. So let's see what this last comment was. Melissa wants to donate the winnings back to #BeTheChange, which actually would go to Regular Hero. I do love that. I do also love the idea of you getting to choose what you want to do the $10 with. I appreciate that as well. All right, so sweet Dick Philly. Here's number 1. I'm going to go ahead and put you on the spot, putting you on the main screen. Question numero uno. Here's Johnny.
Oh, that's The Shining.
The Shining.
Yeah.
Boom. All right, so you've got 1. You've got 1 correct. We've got 2 more to go. You must answer the next 2. Otherwise, not only do you not get your original $10, you also lose a finger. I will come. I will risk Corona.
Now we're doing Dark Man. Dark Man was in the 80s with the cigar cutter. Wow, that's dark.
That's dark. Yeah. All right. This one should be simple enough. Ready? Next question. Next trivia question. Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads.
Oh, shit. Roads. The same one as we don't need no stinking badges.
No, hold on, wait. Where's my? Oh, I'm gonna grab a vest, and I've got a cat on a vest right now.
Oh my God! You may have just stumped me. Roads. Anybody got any help?
Any of Okay, so since you took a little time on that one, we're gonna give that as a maybe. Let's see. All right, here. Let's see. I've got one that's.
Give him a hint.
No, he got it. He got back.
You said it. I didn't hear you say it.
Yeah, but it was a little late.
Got it.
Because Chad gave rhymes with smack to the smoocher. So
he's a subtle one. He's a weasel. He's subtle.
All right, so I'm gonna save my hardest one for last. I'm saving my hardest one for last. But let's see. You know what? This one's hard enough where if you get this one, it counts. All right? If you get this one, it counts. Ready? Here it is. I'm not bad.
Oh,
it's drawn that way.
Good work.
Let me know when the clock's almost up. Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
Roger Rabbit is correct. Sweet.
You ready?
Well played. All right, Sweet Dick, Philly Joe, Philly. You are. There's so many names. I don't even know which way to go. I didn't even know. Sweet Dick was one. Yeah,
all 12 names every time. That's going to be the goal.
Yep, it'll be like Apollo Creed. Master of Disaster and 87 Things. All right, I'm going to go and drop you off. Gentlemen, you're a scholar, you're a lady, you're all the above, Mr. Sweet Dick. Go ahead and put your Venmo, if I don't already have it, send it in the box, okay? I'm going to drop you off.
Nice work. Nice job.
Thanks, guys.
That was our first live game show contestant. That was a fun idea.
You're right. We got a live. I like this bringing on live. That's fun.
So I think what we're going to do for the next episode is however many questions people can answer throughout, whoever gets the most correct, I'll do a tally. They'll get to come on for the grand prize of $20 or $25. So cool. Philly's getting 20 on that one. Fantastic.
Following, did somebody pick up your last online quote before we went to Philly?
Which one? Did
you get your answer to Dance with the Devil?
Yeah. Melissa got Batman.
I was getting the drink.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You were. And where is your drink? What are you drinking for today's cocktail, Paul?
We're calling this a gin and tonic because that was a pretty 80s thing.
But what is it?
It's gin and tonic.
That's just gin or that's just vodka.
We're calling it, this is a set. We're calling it a gin and tonic.
Just blow bubbles in it. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's also one of his ex's names, Bubbles. No? All right. So we did our 80s movies, and now the question becomes if we are coming back. Michael Smith, yes, we are live right now. If we're coming back next Monday, if not, we might take an episode off. We will see. But the plan would still be to go again. I always asked that of all my prey was the follow-up line to the Batman quote. That's what it was.
Wow.
So, well played. Chad on the bubble. So we might be doing this again on Monday. If not, we'll definitely be back on Wednesday. What is going to be our next show topics? What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, look, you're the boss, but you've got options that include comedies. You've got scary movies, ghost stories, slasher films. We got
westerns. Buddy films.
All right. So if we're going on Monday, we're going to do westerns because I know Chad and I aren't huge on the westerns. So that's going to be severely carried by you, almost AARP carrying gentlemen. Chad thinks sci-fi.
If I could have gone back in time and put $20 in an envelope 20 seconds ago and assumed you were going to pull the age card on the western, I would be $20 richer right now.
This is true. All right, so we're going to do westerns on the next episode. And what we forgot to do in the last episode, and I won't say your age, Ken Paul, but happy birthday on Monday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
You look fantastic for a guy wearing clothes that really don't fit his current generation. So
no, they don't. I don't think this looked good then, but we did it. So
one more look, because again, your main segment is what to wear while quarantining to keep the morale up.
Right? Got to do it. Got to have some pizzazz. Got to get dressed. Can't run around in sweats. We don't do that, right?
Why not?
Got to get the stuff out. Here's the best part is half the two things I've worn on both your shows so far, none of them have been out of the closet. Again, here we go. There's your setup. Have not been out of the closet in over 15 years. So these clothes are getting a new life. There it is.
Michael Smith, you've joined us, Michael Smith. You just missed discussion about Back to the Future, but Michael Smith knows everything about Back to the Future. He could probably quote the entire movie from beginning to end. So you just missed it, but you can watch it later when it's watching it.
And the same KP's clothes coming out of the closets jokes won't change.
They won't.
No.
It's where the clothes are.
It is where the clothes are. Thank you to everybody that watched. Please continue to comment. Michael Smith, I know you're sorry, but hey, just do better next time. Just go ahead and be live. Couldn't log on quick enough. That's another thing that KP says on occasion. Melissa's asking.
He layered his polos, of course.
Yes. There's not a polo that's actually actually there was polos that were attached like that.
They did do that.
No, but you were supposed to wear two. That's what
at least two. Some people went three
shirts, and then you rolled the sleeve.
It's because in the 80s, people were doing so much cocaine that they were sweating through their single shirt, so they had to wear two shirts. I think that's probably why.
Yeah, and it looked better when I had a 30-inch waist. So, yeah, two shirts looks a little bulky right now, but, you got to do it.
Ken, are you wearing penny loafers? Is my other 80s question.
Oh, yes, I am.
Great. And I know you have at least a pair. So
I just actually bought a new pair of the actual Bass Weegian loafers less than 2 months ago. The classic black Weegian penny loafer. Just bought a new pair.
okay, now Anthony might not even know this. There was some kind of code about what you did with the pennies, and I can't remember what they are. Maybe you remember it. It was whether you had a head up or a tail up or one of each. You remember what they meant?
I don't remember the rules. There was different meanings, and then it was very cool to find your year penny to put in there.
Yeah.
But that was trendy. If you go before and after the 80s, the classic penny loafer look is still to not put a penny in.
What metal was the pennies made in of your birth year penny?
It was Byzantium.
Wow.
My year.
You just pulled that right out of the back pocket. That was pretty impressive.
Byzantium.
All right. So I'm going to end the show on a positive note. Again, Chad.
Thank you, Michael. That's great.
Yeah, it's Jack Tripper called. Kenny wants his wardrobe back. That's fantastic. Ending it on a positive note. Chad, we miss you. Sending you a lot of love, and we'll hope to see you back. And again, this is a lot of the positive stuff that we want to share with you guys is all because of how I originally started this with hashtag Be the Change. We want to keep everybody positive. There were some great stories around the world, including CEOs giving away their patented technology to create to let anybody in the world that wanted to do it create respirators. That was the CEO of why can I never write it correctly? Yara Yitani, CEO of an Israeli company, which is fantastic. So people are doing great things all around the world. This is your opportunity. Fox 24, Charleston, South Carolina, is actually giving away $500,000 of advertising time to small businesses for free commercial time. So This is our opportunity to not worry about what's going on and help all the people around us. And that is all of what Be the Change and Regular Hero is all about. So thank you for your donation back, Melissa. And here's just a quick... If you spend money on a graphic, you might as well use it. Anyways, thank you guys for checking out Biscuits and Gravy Do the 80s. Thank you to Matt and Ken Paul being our special filling in the role or the underpants or the full pants or the shoes of Chad Fishburne. We miss you, Biscuits. And for now, signing off. Thank you guys.
Bye, guys. Bye, Chad.
I love you, Chad.